What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Fun with Friends Mini-sode, also known as the Fun Fact episode. I'm your host, Allie, and as always, thank you all so very much for joining me today. I'll be introducing next week's adventure and talking a little bit about what adventure my friend and I go on. Then I'll give you a fun fact about myself and provide some fun facts that are related to the adventure that we're going on. So to kick it off, in next week's episode, you will be joining my friend Katie and I as we go camping. We spent 3 days out in the wilderness, out in the Virginian hills, over Labor Day weekend camping. I suppose it's called primitive camping because we were in a tent, but you know, it's just camping. So we spent 3 days out kind of towards Charlottesville in Virginia. So we kind of explored the area around us, went to the Lotus Temple, which is kind of a yoga and spiritual retreat, and that was actually probably the highlight of the trip. It was a really cool kind of spot to check out and quite enjoyable. And then we also drove into Charlottesville to check out Edgar Allan Poe's dorm room and a kind of rose garden that was attached to a really cool bookstore. And these are things that we found on Atlas Obscura, which I will provide a link below. I highly recommend it if you're looking for kind of fun, creepy things to do around you. Then it's a good spot to look. You know, we had some wildlife encounters. We took a journey through the woods that ended at a temple, and overall, it was a really fun, awesome weekend trip. My friend Katie is one of my best friends. I've known her for quite a while, and she's fucking hilarious. So it's a good episode. We giggled through most of it. So I can't really wait for everyone to hear it and to share it with you all. So I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoyed making it. So, fun fact about myself is that I love all things creepy. So true crime, murder related stuff, morbid facts, like the fact that Resuscitation Annie's face is the face of a murder victim from France, like, you know, weird stuff. I really love it, and I'm loving that the spooky season is starting soon. So a lot of the fun facts will be more creepy facts. So yeah, you can blame it, or, you know, maybe thank my mother for raising me on Stephen King for my love of kind of the dark and spooky. That being said, I want to share one actual fun fact and then a few creepy facts about camping to kind of get everybody in the spooky season mood. So our fun fact should not come as a surprise to anyone, but camping can relieve stress and depression. Who would have thunk it? So the great thing about camping is that it's not only good for your physical health, but it's also good for kind of your mind, body, and soul. It's great for your mental and emotional well-being. When you're out running around in the wilderness, it increases your levels of oxygen, serotonin, and melatonin, which reduces your stress levels, and it's a natural stress reliever. Yeah, so camping is, you know, great for your mind, body, and soul, and you know, it's hard to be stressed when you're out kind of in nature and maybe away from your phones and computers, and can kind of just take a break from life. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the creepy facts. So I've pulled a few, and I got these from factretriever.com/campingfacts, and I'll link to that down in the episode profile. So if you're interested in finding out some more kind of weird camping facts, you can go check that out. So with the first creepy fact, I am not going to pronounce this correctly, so, you know, don't come for me. I apologize in advance. So the first creepy fact is about the Daitlov Pass incident, which is one of the weirdest and strangest camping mysteries in history. And the reason that it is so weird is because there were 9 students camping in Russia and they were all murdered, or they died somehow, which is why it's kind of like this weird murder mystery. Some of the bodies were found fully clothed, some were naked, some had really gnarly internal injuries. Others, there were traces of radiation. And then also you had like one camper that was missing their tongue and their eyes. So, like all kinds of weird shit was going on. And there are tons of conspiracy theories out there. And I believe My Favorite Murder, the podcast, I think they just did an episode on this incident. So if you don't listen to them, or if you haven't listened to that episode yet, I highly recommend you check it out, because they really go into depth about the full scale of everything and kind of provide some of the conspiracy theories as well. So it's a good episode. And the other creepy fact is that the most common causes of death while camping at national parks include drowning, car accidents, falling, suicide, and other. And in my mind, I like to think that the other includes things like animal attacks and maybe, like allergic reactions to bee stings, something along those lines. Who knows? But, having worked in the Smoky Mountains National Park for a little while, I was always amazed at people's stupidity. I don't know why I was surprised by it, but I always was. You'd sit there and tell people about bears and not to approach the bears and that the bears are wild, and yet you turn around and there'd be like a woman with a baby on one hip and her phone or camera in the other hand chasing after a bear, and maybe that's natural selection at its finest, but I would not be surprised if animal attacks kind of fall into that other category. Well, I say that, and then I'm looking at the website, and here's another fun fact for you. It says that getting killed by wildlife is one of the rarest ways to die at a national park. So I stand corrected. I am wrong. It appears there's been a death by like an angry mountain goat, and other than that, it's not very common. So who knows what falls into the other? Who knows? If you know, let me know. Send me a message. So those are the fun facts and the creepy facts. For next week's episode, where my friend Katie and I go camping. I highly recommend that everyone check it out. It's going to be a great episode. Like I said, my friend Katie is hilarious, and we're sitting fireside sipping on redneck mojitos and moonshine. So it's a really good time. There's an encounter with a possum at one point, so definitely listen to it, check it out, and I'd love to hear feedback about the podcast, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at Fun with Friends Podcast, and you can also find us on Twitter at FunFriendsPod1. So be sure to check us out. Thanks. Bye.